What up, everybody? Today, I'm gonna talk about a subject that's probably gonna hit home for everybody on one spectrum or another. For lack of a better term, the subject is badass kids and how they got to be that way. You know, I got some examples that I'm gonna incorporate into the things that I'm saying today, and I mean, I just let you make your own, form your own opinion, or get a better understanding of what direction that I'm trying to point this thing into. Because at this point, it's an epidemic. Because these kids are, and it's not the kids' fault. I'll start from there, because what we're born into, our environments, we're born into morals, we're born into standards or lack thereof. We're born into just whatever the situation is. And some of these parents, they really don't take accountability for what they've raised and how what they've raised affects everybody in society. It affects us all. So, you know, I know plenty of parents who take pride in raising their kids. They take pride in their child being a reflection of who they are when they're out in society and out in the public, and, you know, the schools, and, you know, wherever it may be, they take pride in that. And those parents will undoubtedly relate to the things that I have to say today. And then on the opposite end of that spectrum, you also have the parents who believe that their kid can do no wrong. That's just false. It's sickening how some of these kids are being raised, and the parent is ready to just do awful things to people in defense of their child when their child is the one who started it, who threw the first punch, who spit on the person, who did whatever it was to draw this just negative response from whatever individual, whatever situation, and it shouldn't be that way. Parents, you have to wake up and start taking accountability for who you've raised and what you raised and what you raised. And some parents, I understand that you thought that by giving your child whatever he or she wanted from the time that they were, you know, from that infant all the way up until whenever you realized it was a problem, but then you thought it was too late. There's a point where it can be too late, but they call it terrible twos for a reason. Because at 2 years old and you see your child act in a certain way, that's the age right there where you're supposed to be like, okay, it's time for that ass whooping, for lack of a better term. It's time for that ass whooping. Those terrible twos turn into terrific toddlers if you acknowledge the problem when you see it. Because a child is only going to respond to what you put in front of him or her. They're going to respond to, you know, they have a reward system. So that reward system is that chemical that's released is called dopamine, and they have a reward system. All right, so what about the consequences? Okay, so when they have consequences, there are two chemicals, I believe, that are released, and I think one of them is cortisol, and the other one of them, I'm pretty sure, could be adrenaline. So if you chose to whip your child's ass, that adrenaline is released under stress, and that cortisol is released. Well, that child has formed there's something in that child's memory. There's something in that child's memory now that he or she won't forget, because that consequence was imposed. You know, you do something, you get something. It's the cause and effect. It's the action for a reaction. So if you do something good, then you should be rewarded for it. You do something bad, we can't cancel out the consequence. We can't cancel out the consequence because we possibly, some of us, you know, our parents or whoever raised us may have taken it too far, and no child should be beat, but every child should be disciplined. And that's part of what's missing nowadays. So, in my first video, just as an example of what I'm referring to, you got 3 kids who go into a, matter of fact, here, I'll just let you watch it.
Break. You got like 10 seconds to open up this door. I swear to God, I'm gonna break this door. 10. Open this fucking door. Oh, come on, mama. Come on, mama. Bitch, I been knew how to count, hoe. I'm not playing. All I fucking know is y'all better open it. I'm not playing.
You know how to count. You have hands. Open the door.
I open up this door before we break this bitch.
Break it. Go ahead.
I'm finna break some up in this bitch. I'm God. I'm finna. You guys must be dumb. I would like that fight with Tim with y'all. Do not play with me.
You
Do
can
not.
like that, but you can't open the door.
Do not play with me. Open this up, I'll trash it.
You can open it.
I will trash this out.
I'm closed. All right, we're sorry.
Open it. Open it.
So as you see, the lack of accountability on the part of the kid is a reflection of the lack of accountability of the parent. Because in my opinion, these kids are a direct reflection of the lack of accountability that the parent has towards consequences in their life. You got 3 kids here dressed in house coats and they've been busted stealing, and they know they've been busted stealing, and instead of owning up, apologizing, taking that loss, they take no accountability for what they do. They want to turn violent. It's sad. And in my opinion, it seems to me, just from the character and the behavior and the swag of the children, in my opinion, they being raised by their mama. In my opinion, you could tell that they being raised by their mom. It's extra noticeable. And I know talking about kids is a sensitive subject, but at the end of the day, it has to be talked about, because these are the kids that if this isn't addressed at this age in these children's lives, these are the kids that go shoot somebody, stab somebody, turn to just a whole life of crime, robbing people, taking no accountability, squander all type of potential that they could have had. They don't use any of their gifts. Everything is just suppressed because the accountability, obviously the lack of discipline. There's no discipline there. There's no hard work there, because if it was, they would have been taught to go into a store and you don't steal, and you don't and you pay for what's yours, and you don't take from other people. But that wasn't taught, and again, accountability wasn't taught. That's from my opinion. That's from having a lack of masculinity, true masculinity in the home. Because you got men out here that will teach these young boys to do that same thing. But in my opinion, these kids aren't being raised under the authority of a man. I mean, you could tell in all, well, at least 2 of the young men's demeanors that they're being raised by their mama. It's given too much spice. So yeah, that's example number 1. We can move on to example number 2.
Oh, yeah, push me out, pussy. Just go. Push me out, pussy. Push me out, pussy. Go. Push me out, pussy.
Grab your stuff and go to mom's. Go in my bathroom.
Push me out, pussy. I'm not gonna.
Now, no way in hell is how I'm gonna start this portion. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell my son would, 1, stand there and call me a pussy, and 2, dare me to even push him. And the parent, the father, you gotta take responsibility for what you didn't do. And I feel bad for you, but then again, I don't feel bad for you, because like I said, when they're called terrible twos for a reason, because after you put belt to ass or paint stick to ass, because you don't want to hurt your child. A belt, depending on what size belt you use, it might be too much for a child. But when it came to me, I said right here, I had different size paint sticks. As you get a little bit bigger, it gets a little bit thicker. When when they're small and at that age of 2, they're thinner. And you know, they're kind of like that wafer thinness. But the point is, the consequence comes with bad behavior is you're gonna feel that sting. And every time you see that paint stick, you think, maybe I don't need to do this. Well, he skipped the paint stick, he skipped the belt, he skipped the switch. He went straight to little Johnny, go stand in the corner. That's, what's standing in the corner gonna do? This boy is standing here actually saying out his own mouth, push me out, pussy. To your father? Are you serious? I would have knocked your head off your shoulders. And then when you called the police on me and I went to jail, I would have told the fathers there who understood where I was coming from but still had to do their jobs that if he does it again, you're gonna come pick me up again. Period, point blank. End of story. This right here is a prime example of no discipline, and the parent has to take accountability for it. You gave your child everything they wanted except for what they needed. You gave them everything they wanted. All the cake, all the candy, all the clothes, all the shoes, if it was jewelry, all the trips, staying at friends' house whenever they want to. You're probably a parent that sat back and drank with your kid before they were even 21 years old and able to drink, which I still wouldn't drink with still wouldn't party with my kids. Still not. You could be 21 years old or not. I still wouldn't party with you. That's something that I wasn't taught. As much as my dad drank and had a good time or whatever, he never partied with me. That was one thing that he would never do with me. So, example 2 of why you end up with badass kids. I don't know what to tell you. The proof is in the pudding. Look at what you're creating. Change it. For people out here right now that are just getting into motherhood, fatherhood, don't let this be you. Because it can easily be you based on the fact that you got this cute, cuddly little baby who could do no wrong, who's so innocent. Yeah, they're innocent. But you could corrupt a child. You can corrupt a child. Easy. Unknowingly, you can corrupt them. By just giving them everything, you're overdosing them. You're overdosing them on everything. All the dopamine releases, they're hooked to it already. And it's all because of you. It's all because of you. Hey, example number 2. Let's move on to number 3.
No, that is Haley's. Bring it back. Bring it back. Put it back. Lizzie, bring that here now.
Mommy, fuck you, bitch.
Oh man, what do you say to that one? What do you say to that one? Beautiful little baby girl that has a mouth that only an adult understands the impact of, because she don't understand what she's saying. She knows there's a negative she feels there's a negative connotation attached to it because she's heard it before. Whether she's heard it on TV and she was allowed to ingest that because she didn't just hear that one time and then all of a sudden she knew contextually where to put it at. No, she's heard it multiple times and then she used it during her stress response to being told to put something down. Her consequence or the situation needed her to put something down and she didn't want to put it down. But see, that moment right there, it's called belt to ass. Paint stick to the hand, to the legs, whatever's gonna make you do a dance real quick and think about the next time, should I really, you know what, it's in my head, but you know, I ain't gonna say that because I don't wanna feel what mommy or daddy did to me last time. You know, the last 5-6 times, because you have to be relentless when you raise your kids. you can't tire out. You can't get tired of you can't get tired of parenting and needing to impose discipline on your child, because that's their job. Their job is to wear you down. And that's what they're hoping happens, is that they wear you down. So it's funny and it's not funny at the same time. And the funny and us laughing is the part where the kid pays attention and understands, oh, that was funny, they laughed at me. No, it's time for you. You about to learn. You gonna learn today. You about to catch it. Like, cute as you want to be, I'm gonna pick you up after. I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna love you, and I'm gonna tell you after I done whipped your ass. I'm gonna tell you why I did it and why you shouldn't do it again. Because if you do it 20 more times, obviously there's a problem. But if you do it 20, you're gonna get it 20 more times, and I guarantee you, it won't be 20 more times if you take the initiative and you're proactive in doing what you're supposed to do in situations just like this. Because most parents out there, she's so beautiful. It was just no. Putting her in the corner ain't gonna do nothing. Put her in the corner for the rest of her life. All she's gonna say is, in her head, the moment you impose discipline, they're just gonna put me in the corner for a little bit, or they're gonna take my phone away for half a day. But I'm so cute and cuddly that they'll give it back to me. And they'll get used to that. They'll get adjusted to not having, whatever it is, or they'll get adjusted to the consequence not being so bad, and they can deal with it and live with it. And that's where you got problems. So do what you're supposed to do in those moments. It hurts you. I didn't like whipping my kids either, but I don't think I had to whip my kids. Past the age of maybe 4 or 5, and in between 2 to 5, because I started at 2. They might have got a couple swats even before 2, to be honest with you. You walking around talking about when you start doing that, that's when I have to let you know that, okay, I understand what that means. So they might have been getting it before that age, but they didn't have to get it the way I got it, because I realized and understood that, I got my butt tore up. So I realized that there was another way to handle it. Yeah, you need your butt whooped in certain situations, but every situation doesn't cause for that butt whooping, because I learned, I came up and learned how to use different tools. The tool in my house when I was coming up was straight belt, straight switch, so I learned different tools. But like I was saying, 2 to 5, I didn't have to do that as much, because I started at that age of 2 or whatever the case is. So it was imprinted in their minds, like, I don't want to feel that again, because I made it memorable. I made it memorable, and I didn't damage anybody. I didn't leave any bruises. I didn't do any of that, because I know that's a fear of a lot of parents, and I know that they're fearful of what society's gonna say, and police officers and the government and their business. Man, I don't care about none of that. That's the reason why you have these kids out here doing the things out here in public and taking people's lives and unaliving people and all that other stuff, because they didn't get that ass whipping when they needed it. So let's move on to the next one.
No, tell him right now, because he's gonna find out what's going on. Tell him what that guy did.
So me and Laura were drawing chalk, and we had a ball, and she threw it over there, and
the rainy ball.
Yeah, and I went over there, and I tried to take it, and then the guy over there said, across the fence, he said, "You better get your ass home." And
he said what?
Yeah, he cussed at her.
Yeah, right. Over here?
Yep, over here. I didn't know that anybody was even over here.
Who? Where is he?
Oh, hello? Excuse
you
me.
Over here cussing at her about a ball?
Hello.
Cussing at this baby over here about a ball.
First off, I have not cussed at her, so let's get that out the way.
Where's the ball?
What ball?
Her brand new pink ball.
Why are you
just over here?
There is no ball over here, and if there is a ball, I would find it. Your daughter's been over here turning my shed into a she shed. She has a lot of stuff inside of here that is not supposed to be here, and quite frankly, I don't want her here. It's dangerous inside of that shed. It's my property, and she has no business being here in the first place.
Is that true? Were you in a shed?
Okay, well, that's true, but I don't. He wasn't even using that fucking shed.
Yeah. If you're not using it, then what's it matter, dude?
Hold
It matters
on.
to me. Is it a big deal like you're not even
Hey,
here?
okay,
It's my
all right.
property.
Hey,
I'm
hey,
mowing
hey,
this damn
hey,
lawn,
you know
doing all
what?
this,
Hey,
taking care of this
Eric, he lied. Do you not see the problem?
That's not a problem. That's
No,
not
it is a problem.
The
She
is that
lied.
He felt comfortable enough to say something to
No, the problem was you, Eric. The problem is you are, to me, you seem worthless when it comes to discipline and accountability. I don't know what voodoo or what spell she has you under, but she obviously wears the pants because you didn't see a problem with the fact that she lied. And another thing, she's not a baby. She's well enough. She's old enough to understand exactly what it is that she was doing. The other homeowner, he was totally in his rights to, if he did say, get your ass off my property, which obviously that didn't even seem like the case. You've raised a little storytelling, unaccountable, lazy, just badass kid. And this is the type of kid that Eric will get you put in jail because she tells the lie, you crash out, and then your ass goes to jail. And this is just another example of what a badass kid does. And you don't see anything wrong out of your own mouth. You didn't see anything wrong with her telling the lie. Your wife had to tell you, you don't see anything wrong with that? Even though she was the one that got you hyped up in the first place, and she didn't do her due diligence and ask all the proper questions that would have ended that before it even got that far, and you went over there and, you know, you would have got sucker punched by me because, one, I understand that everybody has kids, and I have kids, and I'm not going to disrespect anybody's kids if I don't have to. But she was on somebody else's property. She was making a little she shed space for herself on somebody else's property. She lied about a ball that didn't exist. And all you can do is say that you didn't see anything wrong with it. Only reason why you saying that is because you didn't want to be held accountable for being wrong. So guess what? Where she gets her accountability from? You and the mama. I blame both of y'all. And then on top of that, there's a bigger problem. She dropped the F-bomb and the conversation went on like nothing even existed. My mom put soap, zest in my mouth multiple times for not even dropping the F-bomb. Any cuss word back in the day. Put soap in my mouth. And she whipped my butt. But the soap, I don't know which one was, I know which one was worse, because mom was letting out some aggression on me. You know, she might have been mad at dad, and so she tore my ass up. But she put soap in my mouth. There was a consequence to whatever was going on. There was a consequence. So, butt whooping, extra chores, whatever it may be, taking whatever that need to be taken away, whatever it was. That's what you need to do with this little girl, because that type of badass kid right there can get you killed, get you put in jail, and get you humiliated as well. Because I would have humiliated you, like, because you came over there puffed up. So it's just another example of a badass kid and what they can do and how they can get you hemmed up. Whoop your kids' ass. Hold your kids accountable. Let's move on to the next one.
You want me to take your iPad away?
No!
Okay, well, it's time for bed.
No! Not go to bed! No!
Come on.
I'm not ready to go to bed.
Come on, I gave you an extra hour.
I said, no, it's not time for bed. Chill out. It's 9 o'clock. I'm 12 years old. Stop treating me like a baby.
Let's
I'm
go.
not going to bed. We're not going to bed. Can you hear her? No! We're not going to bed. No! What do you not understand?
Okay, fine. You can have 1 more hour.
You go to bed. Yeah, you go to bed. Yeah.
Okay.
Ain't no daddy in the house. I don't care what nobody say. Yo, you don't know that. Hey, he could be there. He could be a sucker too. Man, look. That behavior right there screams, Dad don't live here. Mom and Dad separated. Dad trying to be the good guy. Mom's trying to institute some discipline. She's trying to institute some discipline. They don't receive it well because it was a bitter breakup, and Dad lets them do whatever they want to do, and then still might have more control in whatever over the situation, and they respect him more. That's what I get from the situation. And in that situation right there, a lot of parents will say, oh, they just need to be put on medicine. No, the medicine that they need is an ass whooping. That's the only medicine that they need. This is a clear indication that they've always received everything that they wanted. They got everything that they wanted, because she's telling you to go to bed, and you're trying to bargain with the child because you feel this sense of no control. Somewhere you lost control, or you never had it in the first place, because you were reading books and you were taking advice from other people that raised their kids a certain way, when all you needed to do is take your respect. Because if you don't take your respect, the kids are not going to give you the respect. They're not going to show you the appreciation. These kids that you raise, that you love, that you clothe, that you feed, that you house, that's totally disgusting to even look at. That another parent has to go through something like that. You know what? I say I don't feel bad for these parents, but I do feel bad for you, because there's no way in hell that shit could happen in my house. True enough, I've dealt with some disrespectful kids and attitudes and stuff like that, but nothing along those lines. Never along those lines. So at the end of the day, you want to fix that, or you don't want to ever encounter that, discipline your child when your child needs to be disciplined.
Don't touch him.
I don't care. You put your hands on me. What's up? He called the police, everybody, because I'm trying to go in the office. I'm like, you talking about go to the office? I'm like, for what? He like, I can't tell you. We don't have to give you a reason. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to take a picture. Wait. And they mad. Like, they got me in the office now for what? For what? I still don't have a reason. Why am I here?
If you
Why?
talk,
Just got school. Just got dropped off.
let's talk.
You already, as soon as he seen me, start whispering the motherfucking headphones. Okay, you're not mad, I am. So you don't feel how I feel.
The volume.
How you hear her? Hello, Mom.
You need to relax. And you need
She said, hello, how are you?
You need to get out of my face. You're
Okay, I
done.
can
You
do
put your
that.
hands on administrator. You are done. You need to calm down.
I am calm.
All right.
I was calm.
I'm done.
I was calm.
Now
Be
you
done.
put your
Be
hands-
done.
And now you're going to be taken into custody.
Yep.
So all you got to do is relax.
Yep.
You got too much.
Yep.
So you can either do this.
Get out my face.
I'm not moving. Relax.
I can't.
Don't.
I mean, her attitude says it all. And she's a high schooler, so her behavior has been going on for years. And the only one that she probably has a say so is the mom. And at the end of the day, the fact that she even feels comfortable reaching out to her mom the way she did in that situation let you know that mom probably stomachs all the bullshit and, you know, listens to the stories and immediately is that parent that jumps on the side of the kid and my kid can do no wrong. I'm the opposite of that. If you come to me or a teacher comes to me and unless it's something that's just totally out of character, which has never happened. But if you come to me and you say that my son did this or my son was involved in this or that, the first thing I'm going to is my child to get the story to break them down, because I know their character and I know how their mind thinks and I know their quirks and their twitches and when their eye moves this way, and I know when they're lying. And I'm gonna dig and I'm gonna take whatever I need to take away and I'm going to stand on whatever it is I need to stand on to get the truth out of my child. But the last thing I'm gonna do is believe exactly what's being told out of my child's mouth, because the first thing they're gonna do is not want to take accountability. Even if you're teaching accountability in the house, a lot of kids just don't want to take accountability and they want to twist it because they want the parent to crash out. It's like we're the bully slayer. And it's like you created the problem. There was never an issue until you created the problem, and then you poured gas on the fire with your attitude. And now you are leaving out key components to the story, and I'm not getting it all. And now I'm looking like a fool once the real story comes out and the videotape is shown, and I'm sitting there looking at you like, you would do me like that? So just another example of why we have to be present when we parent, and we have to be diligent when we parent, and why we have to love enough to parent and whip that ass. End of story. Let's see. I think I got one more in here for you.
Where's my room? Get in there.
Give me the chips. You can't eat chips.
Do not throw that. Cove, look at me. Hey, stop throwing the food.
What?
What did you do? You're a monster! No!
Let's take it up. Let's take it up, come on.
No, tienes que comer primero.
You got an apple in your hand, you got Takis in your hand. Come on now. Oh my God.
No!
Why would you do that?
Naughty. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Even the cutest of those moments all required some type of attention to the details. I mean, they all speak for themselves. I mean, outbursts, whatever it is that you think that you could talk away, and you can say, oh, it's okay, Johnny, it's okay, Susie. Just that's not how we express ourselves. Is you can only do so much talking. There's only so much talking that can be done before action has to be taken. So at the end of the day, and I'm gonna end it here. Everybody in this world has to deal with everybody in this world's kids. We all have to deal with the kids. So everybody should play a part and take pride in playing a part of producing well-mannered children that are coming out into the world, because, you know, it's cliche, but they are the future. They are going to be the leaders or the ones that deconstruct society. You know, those are the opposite ends of the spectrum. Either they're going to build up this world or they're going to tear it down. And don't know about you, but for me, I want to raise kids who are building up and producing positivity. I don't want my children to be associated with tearing down. I'm just over it. I'm just tired of seeing these bad kids looking at you in the store, in the mall, in the church, in the school, wherever we may be at, the amusement park, and they're looking at you while they know they're doing something they're not supposed to be doing. And it might be affecting you directly. And then they're looking at the parent, they're looking at you and thinking that you're going to be the parent who's not going to say nothing, because before, many people have not said anything to this child. They haven't said, oh, you're not going to say anything to my mom, you're not going to say anything to my dad. That's just the demeanor that they have. They don't say it, but you could tell when a kid is used to their parent flaring up and you know, you're not going to say nothing, my mom and dad are going to protect me. That's what we're supposed to do. But we're not supposed to protect bad behavior. That's not what it's supposed to be. So be a part of change, and be a part of the movement of adults and parents that realize that it takes a village to raise a child. So at the end of the day, love your children enough to discipline your children, because you're not disciplining them for the moment. You're disciplining them for the future. You're disciplining them for their benefit and for longevity on this earth. So instill all these things into your kids so they don't end up like any of these kids on these videos, because the world sees it, we see it, and we're tired of it, you know? So that's my good one for today.